Okay, now we're going to take a look at adding the Facebook JavaScript SDK into our application. And just to let you know where I am at the moment, we're back in development mode. I've started my API server and I've also started the React client in development mode. So we're listening on localhost 3000. Because we're using Postgres now, you need to have your database started. And what you should be able to see is just your application running in localhost 3000 just as it was before when we ended the main part of the course. And just to show you where I'm at in terms of Git, and if I take a look at Git log, then I'm at the end of section 22. So that's where I am, and it's Q to get out of here, by the way. If you open Git log, you just need to press the Q key. And what we're going to do is add the Facebook JavaScript SDK. So what we'll do, if we go back to our Facebook developer dashboard, then take a look at the docs, then what we want to look for inside here is, inside the business tools section, we want to take a look at Facebook login and see what's required for this. And we're going to be adding this to a website, so we'll select this one. And what we need is the following: a Facebook developer account, we've got that, a registered Facebook app with basic settings configured, and we need the Facebook JavaScript SDK, and let's take a look at what we need to do for this. So we'll go to the quick start, and this gives us the client-side functionality to use Facebook login. And the idea of Facebook login is to make it a one-click experience. If they've never registered with our app before, then they'll simply be able to click on the Facebook login button, and that will register them and log them into our application, whether they're coming into our app for the first time or the 100th time. It's going to be the same experience. So what we're going to do is take a look at the basic setup. And what we'll do for this is add this script tag to our index.html. And this is going to initialize the Facebook SDK and download it as well from Facebook. So we need to be in development mode for this. We need to be on our client-side app running on localhost 3000. Otherwise, we need to start adjusting our content security policies that we added. So what we'll do is we'll just copy this in its entirety, and we're just going to paste this into our index.html in our client app. There's no package that we install for this, so we'll go to the one that's inside our client app and public, and what we'll do is just inside the body tag, just below the no script, we'll just paste in what we got from Facebook documentation. And we just need to replace app ID with our own app ID. So just go back to your notes where you've copied the app ID. It's not the app secret, this is publicly available information we're adding to our index.html. So this is the app ID, not the app secret. And what we'll also do, so that we can get type safety with the and autocomplete and IntelliSense with this, we're also going to install the type definition file for this SDK. So what we'll do is we'll cd into the client app. Don't forget to do that, otherwise you'll install this in entirely the wrong place, and we need this to be inside our client app. And what we'll do is we'll say npm install at types /facebook-js-sdk, and we'll just save it into our dev dependencies. So we'll add --save dev and press return. And once this has been installed, then we've now got type safety. Now this is going to be available globally in our application because we're getting the JavaScript from Facebook in our index.html. So we'll be able to access FB for Facebook anywhere. So what we'll do first of all, we'll start at the bottom and we'll go to our agent.ts file. And what we'll do inside here, we'll scroll down to our account and we'll just create the method that we're going to use to register or log in our user with Facebook login. So what we'll do, we'll say FB login, and what we're going to get is an access token from Facebook, which is a string. And what we'll do, we'll say request.post, and eventually we're going to return a user object from this. And then we'll add backticks /account /FB login, and then we'll add the query string, and that's how we're going to pass our access token up. And we'll say access token equals $, and then we'll pass in the access token. And because it's a post, we'll also just need to add an empty object here as well. So we won't use this for a little while, but we're just getting it set up for when we can use it. And then we'll head over to our user store. And what we'll do inside here, we'll just scroll down, and what we'll do is we'll create a function called Facebook login. That doesn't take any parameters. And what we'll do is we'll say window.fb, and then we've got access to the Facebook JavaScript SDK functionality. And we can see the different options we have. But we have an option to log in. And then what we can do is we can get the response from this. And all we'll do just now is we'll just console.log the response and see what we get back from Facebook when we do this. And what we also can specify in here is the scope. What do we want to get back from the Facebook profile that we're looking at? Now, when a user clicks on the login button, they're going to be presented with a dialog that says that our application is requesting these features and do they want to accept. So what we'll do is we'll say scope, and we're going to get their public underscore profile, and in addition to this we're going to get their email. Now you may not normally want to do this because we don't really need their email to log them in using this, but this is just an example of how you can get additional information. And it also means that we don't need to refactor our token because we're sending an email address back with our token as well, and we're storing that in our database. We don't have to, but we will do in this case. So we're going to get their email as well. And then what we'll do is we'll go to our home page and we'll add a button to let them log in with Facebook. And let's just tidy things up a little in here. And what we'll do below our two buttons here, we'll first of all add a divider and add the closing tag for divider as well. We'll make it horizontal and inverted, and we'll just type in the content as or. And then we'll add another button. And what we'll do, we'll give it a size equal to huge. We'll specify inverted. We'll give it a color equal to, and we can actually use Facebook as the color here. Semantic UI provides that specific color to use. The content will say login with Facebook. And then we'll add an on-click event and we'll say user store.facebook login. And what we can do is just go and take a look at what we get. So let's go back to our application and we'll go to our React app and let's just refresh this page. And we'll just log out of Bob. And now we can see our new button to log in with Facebook. So I'm just going to inspect and go to the console so that we can see what we do get back from this. And if we click on login with Facebook, we see the dialog. And we get the option to either continue as my own Facebook account that I'm logged in as, and I'm not going to do this, I'm going to choose a different user. So I'll use the drop down and switch user. But we can see what this is going to ask for. It's going to receive your name and profile picture and email address. And it tells us what we're not allowed to do. It doesn't let the app post to Facebook. And what we'll do is we'll switch user. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to paste in one of the email addresses for our test users. And then enter the password. And then click login. And this is Barbara. So we can see continue as Barbara. And I'll click on to continue. And then what we get in our console is the response back that we get from Facebook. And inside the auth response, we can see we've got an access token, an expiration time, a user ID, and some signing request details as well. But what we'll be able to do, and we'll be able to take this access token and send this up to our API. And then from our API, we can verify that this user is who they say they are. And then we can get their details from Facebook. And we can create a new user if that's what's needed, or we can retrieve their user objects from the database and return them a normal token to use with our application. So that's the idea. So what we'll do next is we'll head over to our API and configure this there.